Everyone seems to have come to the dining hall for dinner. Maybe no one feels like cooking or being alone after what happened to John. So my options are fried eggplants parmesan or meatloaf surprise.
I'm not picky, so man. Hello, everyone. If I could have your attention for a moment. You and everyone else turned towards Mariana. Unfortunately, John passed away late this afternoon. No, John! Why, bro? He ain't do nothing. No. God damn it. Murmurs spread around the room as everyone takes in the news. The counselor is coming tomorrow at 10 a.m. I'll be there. I always find Nelson's sessions very helpful. If you have any questions about counseling, slip a note under my door, and I'll respond to you after I return home from dinner with my stepkids. You look around the room. Everyone is talking quietly.
What's the etiquette for eating with new friends right after they get terrible news? And which new friend should I sit with? Crystal's in line for food, by herself. No one should eat alone at a time like this. Albert is sitting with Esther.
They're not pair of pals. Esther could give me the lowdown on the count. I don't care, bro.
But there's also Jackson Blair in the corner. I wonder how Blair's holding up. And there's Salima and Harun near the tea and coffee urns. Salima looks rather upset, but like she's trying to hide it. Decision time. I'll eat with...
So we can eliminate Salima and Harun and Albert and Esther. Blair and Jax. Crystal's voice is easier to do. Motion to a food tray.
Would you like to sit and have dinner with me?
Dinner, yes, but do you mind coming to my apartment? I don't feel like being around so many people right now.
Sure, okay.
Even extroverts have their limits.
Your kitchen table arrived.
Yup, right on time.
You both set your trays down on the table and sit down.
So, more happened in our first 2 days at Ye Olde than I ever expected.
It did indeed. John was a fun guy, very laid back. And now he's gone. Just like that.
Snaps her fingers for emphasis.
It makes me worry about what will happen when I die.
What are you worried about?
I don't want to die without mending things with my family.
Man.
We're arguing over what to do about the big family reunion.
Ooh, Mr. Oh. I ain't figured that out yet, but thanks for the heads up.
I love family reunions.
If only you could go in my place. I usually love them, but this one is going to be hard. Thing is, my in-laws haven't met the new me yet. They haven't seen me since my
I knew she was a man! I fucking knew it!
What transition?
to living openly as a woman.
I knew it! I knew it! I saw that shit coming from a mile away, dog. I knew it was a whole ass man. Well, now a woman, but I swear, bro.
When did you transition?
In public, less than a year ago. In private, a few decades ago.
I'm not being transphobic by giving her a manly voice. There's just too many different people in this game. Leave me alone.
So, your immediate family knew?
Just my wife, Astrid, not our kids. Considering the situation with Dale right now, I think we made a mistake keeping it from them. Astrid and I planned how to come out to our kids and extended family, but before we could do it, she got sick. And now, she's gone. I had to tell our kids myself. Lies understands. But Dale thinks I'm going through a phase. He actually said to me, just go to the reunion as Dad, and if you still want to be a woman next year, go as Crystal.
That's terrible. I hope you grounded him.
Unfortunately, no. He's 49 years old and not under my control anymore. Another reason we should have told him earlier. I thought moving here would help. Dale get used to this new phase in my life. See me as the person I truly am, living in her element. I have been looking forward to this for a long time. But Dale's constant calls and our arguing has made this move super stressful. Now John's death makes me feel like I've left everything too late. I want time to enjoy living my true life with Dale's support, but I don't know how to fix things between us.
Maybe family counseling could help.
Dale won't go to therapy. He thinks I should, but he doesn't think he needs to.
That's ridiculous. I wish I could make him go.
You can't? You're my neighbor, not a magic genie.
Sorry, I'm not a genie. That'd be pretty amazing.
It would be. Since we're on the topic, do you worry about dying?
Yes. I worry about dying alone.
But you're not alone. You live here now, with all of us.
What if I just died in the night? Is it weird to want someone sleeping beside me when that happens?
Oh, by not being alone, you mean not being single.
It's not the time, Cash, bro. Sure.
Yes, I want someone to love. But on the flip side, if I do have a special someone, my death will hurt them.
That's true, but I think they'd think it was worth it to have known you.
Thanks, Crystal. That's sweet.
With everything that's happening, I'm grateful Ye Old is bringing in a counselor tomorrow. I definitely need a therapy session.
I don't want to go to therapy.
You don't have to go if you don't want to, but there's no harm in giving it a try.
Well, I'll sleep on it. Maybe I'll be more into trying therapy after a good night's rest.
Speaking of sleep, sorry if I kept you up last night, or this morning. I'll put my phone on silent tonight. Oh, and I bought a package of earplugs too. Want a pair?
Yes, please.
Interesting. Very, very interesting. So it looks like I'm hurtling down a path of getting some of Crystal's cooch. That's kind of not really what I was aiming for, but sure, whatever.
So the counselor's meeting people in the sanctuary. If only I knew where that was. Jax, thank goodness I found someone.
Oh, hey, Lori.
I'm trying to find where the counselor is meeting people. Someplace called the sanctuary?
Oh, yeah, that's Mariana's name for the studio. It's down the hall, around the corner, and on the left. Then he slumps off in the opposite direction.
Oh, guess Jax isn't coming to therapy.
So it looks like I had to go anyway. That's awful.
It looks like I'm not the only one who needs some counseling.
You overheard Mariana and Selima chatting. I'm glad you can make it, Salima. Luckily, our grandson Marcel is visiting. He's watching a movie with Harun, so I could come. Nelson brought another. Good morning, everyone. Please take a seat. You and everyone else, including Nelson, sit down. For those who don't know me, I'm Nelson. After a couple decades of cutting hair and being an unofficial therapist to my clients, I decided to go back to school and become an official therapist. Now here I am. Though I still cut hair here at Yield on Thursdays. First cut is free.
Oh, yes, I saw the flyer.
Wonderful. All right, let's begin grief counseling.
Wait, all together? No one said anything about group counseling.
Sorry. We've been doing these group grief sessions for so long, I didn't think to specify that. Oh, yes. Nelson's been leading these sessions
Since the last therapist checked out. Permanently.
How inappropriate! Ignore him, Laurie. The residents of Ye Old have found group grief counseling to be a most effective form of therapy. Everyone here has so much life experience and wisdom to share. Sometimes I feel like I'm the one being helped.
Come on, man, you know that isn't true.
Okay, maybe not by you, Blair. Unless we're talking about how to bluff my way through a crap poker hand.
I knew you'd be a natural. If anyone can talk a good game about a bad hand, it's a therapist.
That's basically my job.
I was skeptical at first too, Laurie, but the group sessions really do help.
Okay, I'll give it a try.
Wonderful. Let's begin. You may experience a host of emotions. Sadness, anxiety, loneliness, maybe even fear. And that's why we're here today. This is a circle of trust where we can share our feelings. And might I remind everyone,
he shoots pointed glances at Esther and Blair.
This is a judgment-free space. By sharing, hopefully we can find some comfort. Who would like to start? I can start. John's death has reminded me of how suddenly life can end. But also how important it is to be prepared. I made sure my family knows what to do when I go. They have detailed instructions for my Shiva, my funeral, and my burial. I even made video messages to say goodbye in case I pass away suddenly.
Oh, I can't wait to get my SD bye-bye video.
You don't get one, Blair. They're for my loved ones.
Oh, Esty, you've broken my heart.
Blair, I'm sensing a certain amount of judgment here.
Sorry.
You were saying, Esther? But I still worry. What if something happens to my effects? What if my family doesn't get all my instructions and messages? What if on the day I die, there's a fire? No, 2 fires. One in my apartment and one at my lawyer's office, and my wills are destroyed.
You haven't made a digital copy?
Goodness, no! I can't trust a computer with my final wishes. Digital documents can be compromised. Still, the thought of passing away like John, with no one knowing my last wishes, makes me anxious. John didn't have a will? No, he didn't. I was talking to him about it just a couple days ago. I said, John, how often do you update your will? Because I was updating mine at the time. And he said, never, I don't have one. And I said, John, you need a will. And he said, oh, think about it, Esther. And now, it's too late.
Fuck you, Esther.
Not having a will isn't that big a deal.
Yeah, maybe John didn't have stuff for people to fight over.
Wills aren't just about stuff. They're for making arrangements for your families.
Oh, shut up, you sissies. Wills are for, like, girls and stuff.
Those are all valid points. Though Salima touched on something crucial. Arrangements for your death are not just for you, they're also for those you leave behind. Yes, because being left behind is hard too. I was a mess when Kim died. To be honest, I was a mess before she died. We'd been fighting even before her diagnosis, and
Whoa! Mariana speaks so fondly of Kim. I never guessed that they've been fighting. No relationship is perfect.
at least Kim made a will. It was all I could do just to follow it step by step and get through everything.
But you followed her wishes, and that's important. My wife Astrid would have done the same for me, but she passed away last year. And now, I worry my son Dale won't respect my wishes.
A son should always respect his mother.
Respect me? He barely accepts me. He refuses to use my new name, insisting it's not my real name. I worry he'll put my old name on my tombstone.
That's bullshit. Don't let your family give you any crap, Crystal. Everyone nods and murmurs in agreement.
Dale sounds like a real piece of work.
But he's my piece of work. I brought him into this world. I raised him. And I can't help but feel like it's my fault he's reacting like this.
Nonsense! For better or worse, children have their own minds.
The long and short of it is, Astrid loved me for who I am, and always supported me.
Take your time, Crystal.
If Astrid were alive, she'd fix this mess. She'd help me fix things with Dale.
My sympathies, Crystal. That's such a huge burden for you to carry. Does Crystal's experience resonate with the group? It sounds like children can sometimes present challenges. Yes. Go ahead, Salima. Lately, when I call my kids, I've noticed that they make little comments. Like they don't think I can still take care of her own. Can you? You seem a bit tired. I'm fine, Esther. I know what's best for me and my husband. And putting her own into the dementia ward is not it.
You tell her, Salima. You know what's best for you. And everyone else should butt out and let me, you, live your life.
What are you on about, Blair?
You know what, Esley? Coming to ye old wasn't my decision.
Whose decision was it?
Carly's. She put me in here. Now, don't get me wrong, I like it here fine now. But if the old ticker betrays me again, will I get a say in what happens to me? I mean, Carly will want to throw a funeral party so everyone can dance on my grave. I don't want that. Don't put me in a box underground. Scatter my ashes, man. Far and wide.
If you make a will, Blair, we'll make sure that happens.
Touche, Esty.
A legally binding will can assure you that your wishes are respected. If any of you need ye old has a service that can put you in touch with an estate lawyer. I don't trust lawyers. Why's that, Albert? Well, my friend Taylor had a will drawn up by a lawyer, but his family got their own lawyer and contested it. Why? How? Because Taylor's will stated that he wanted to be buried here. Of course, in the plot you bought together.
Tears well in Esther's eyes as she looks at Albert.
Albert looks down, avoiding Esther's gaze, but he continues. But Taylor's relatives wanted him to be buried in the family plot back home. They contested the will by saying I had influenced him to change it. It wasn't true, but I couldn't afford much in the way of a lawyer. And Taylor's family won. So Taylor was buried hundreds of miles away in South Carolina. And there was nothing I could do about it.
But if you were his partner...
We were just friends. But Albert... I've talked enough. I'm gonna go deadhead the roses now. Albert, please stay. Nobody will make you talk if you don't want to. Fine. Looks around the group before his gaze settles on you. Is there anything you feel comfortable sharing, Lori?
Yes, there is. I didn't know John, but his passing has me thinking about
Go on.
my own death. I realized the thing I fear most is... I've heard stories about people who die alone. I don't want that to be me. I want someone there with me at the end. So before it's too late, I should find love. But it's been ages since my last date. It's not exactly like riding a bike for me. Can I still find someone at my age? Or have I missed the boat entirely?
Woo-wee. For someone who didn't feel like sharing, you sure unloaded a ton of stuff there, Lori.
Blair! Rude! I just meant it's cool the newbies getting into this group counseling thing. Yes, you did great, Lori. Agreed. Thank you for sharing. You've gone through a major life change, which I imagine has been rather disorienting. But it helps to be kinder to yourself as you adjust. Damn. Keep forgetting the voices I gotta do.
Kinder?
Yes, give yourself some time. You don't have to meet someone today.
But what if I die tomorrow?
Then we'll be here for you.
Well, okay. I guess that is somewhat comforting.
Whether you want friends, a companion, or a lover, keep in mind that...
Oh, wait, don't tell me. Things will happen when I least expect it?
Do people still say that? That's terrible. What I was going to say is that you have the right to be comfortable with what is happening. You get to decide how to let people into your life.
Even here?
Even here, despite my noisy nagging. I really didn't want to move here, but I've been pleasantly surprised by the camaraderie of ye olds residents. It really is a good community.
I know I've only been here 2 days, but I couldn't agree more.
Guess it's a good thing I moved here.
I'm so glad you feel that way. Salima, are you alright? Are you comfortable sharing what's on your mind? It's just listening to everyone. I'm so sad, and I feel guilty. Why do you feel guilty? All I can think about is Haroon, and I don't know what's sadder. Me dying first, and Haroon not remembering me enough to know that I'm gone? Or... It's alright. Take your time. Or Haroon going first, and the weight lifted from my shoulders. Salima, we can help carry some of that weight. Yes, lots of helping hands here.
My hands are good at more than dealing cards. They can also carry groceries, fold laundry, and wash dishes if that'll help you.
I hope you believe your friends when they say they want to help. We're here for you, Salima. You don't have to do it all by yourself. And it's not good for Haron if you wear yourself down. Can I get your agreement on the last part? She nods, sniffling. Everyone else is crying too.
Even Blair, who wipes his eyes on the sleeve of his tracksuit. What a heavy session. All this crying is bringing me closer to everyone here.
I gotta confess something.
What is it, Blair?
Jeez, this is kind of embarrassing.
Circle of trust, remember? Go ahead.
Okay, so I may or may not have a death pool going on at ye old.
I beg your pardon? Death pool?
Yeah, we take bets on who we think is gonna kick the bucket.
What? Did anyone else know about this?
You look around, except you and Crystal. Everyone sheepishly raises their hands.
Wow, this session took a turn.
Did it ever?
So how do I place a bet?
Just leave me a message about the pool party and who you think is going for a swim next. Plus 20 bucks. Going for a swim sounds so peaceful. I like it. But the kicker is, not a single one of you bet on John.
He did seem pretty spry. I mean, I saw him on a speed walk just yesterday morning.
Well, you shouldn't have let that spring in his step. You shouldn't have let that spring in his step fool you. She rolls her eyes skyward.
I can't believe we're having this conversation.
Just listen, will ya? Look, I feel bad about what happened to John. So I want to donate our death pool money to charity. In his memory.
That's actually a great idea, Blair. What does everyone think?
You look at everyone else, nodding in agreement.
That seems like the best way to honor John. And on that note, this concludes our group session. I hope it's helped.
That did help. I feel so much better.
Everyone stands up and heads for the door when...
Oh, one more thing. Usually movie night is the third Thursday of the month. But I was thinking of screening a flick tonight. A bit of escapism would do us all good.
Ooh, something sci-fi, like Intergalactic Bounty Hunter.
Jax's film debut?
Oh, no, that's Jax's film debut. I love that one.
It's one of Haroon's favorites, too.
It's an 80s classic.
We were going to screen it as a surprise for his birthday next month. But now seems like a good a time as any for a fun surprise. Wonderful. Movie night starts at 7:30 sharp. I'll put flyers under everyone's doors announcing a special screening. And if you see Jax, make sure he's coming. But remember, don't tell him what film we're playing. We want it to be a surprise. Another wonderful idea. Enjoy the movie, everyone.
He waves as you all exit. Hey, Lori, wait up. So, movie night. You want to go with me?
Sure, it's a date.
Get ready for a good time. I'll swing by around 7 p.m.
Ready is my middle name.
So this is what I was aiming for. Let's get it. Is the clock gonna go? Or nah?
Yeah?
Uncle Phil's taking a shower. He comes out, I want you to give him a big hug. Show him your driver's license.
Is he here?
We're going to dinner. Uncle Phil's here. When he gets out of the shower, I want you guys to go give him a big hug. Where's Uncle Phil? Because we're going to dinner.
All of us?
No.
Alright.
So show him your driver's license.
I will.
And where are your photos?
I don't know. You had them.
What's it downstairs in the